What's up, guys? Jared back. So I finally had some time to do my Nexus 7 2013 edition review. So here it is. I've had it for about a month now, playing around with it, probably a little bit over a month now. So let's go ahead and get started. But let's start with the design. As far as the design is concerned, you might notice that it is, yes, a little bit different than the 2012 edition. We've got some smaller bezels on the side and some nice large bezels on the top and bottom here. But let's go ahead and start out with the back. First and foremost, you'll notice that we've actually gotten rid of the perforated sort of rubberized texture on the back here and replaced it with a very smooth matte black, but still yet grippy sort of coating or texture to it. A lot of people have been claiming that this is going to be quite scratch resistant. I might have to disagree with them there though on a small basis, considering that I actually had this on my desk a little while ago while I was eating cookies, and as I reached for it and grabbed it across and slid it across my desk, I guess a little sort of cookie crumb morsel got underneath and it actually scratched the back. A cookie crumb scratched the back of my device, which was really disappointing. That said though, that was the one isolated time. Since then, I've been kind of throwing it around my desk and so on, and that's the only damage that's been that's happened to it so far. So for the most part, yes, it is going to be quite scratch resistant. As far as gripability and things like that is concerned, it is quite a grippy material, and I'm still quite impressed with that. We also still have our Nexus logo just above the Asus logo, who's still the manufacturer of this amazing device, and you'll understand why I'm saying amazing as we go on in the review. And now we have the addition of a 5 megapixel rear facing shooter. Of course, it's not a 10 megapixel or a 13 megapixel, but for a tablet, that's going to be definitely adequate enough, considering this is one of those sort of portable pick up and go type tablets, which is great for tossing in your backpack or your purse or even your back pocket for some of you out there. So if you do want to take a quick snapshot, that's what that bad boy is there for. We also have, which I'm really impressed with, the addition of our dual rear facing stereo speakers. So you've got one there and of course one there. So perfect in landscape mode for watching movies or playing games and so on. Fraunhofer surround sound technology. If you guys are wondering who Fraunhofer is, they are the folks behind the invention of the MP3 format. What that means for you and me, absolutely nothing. But what is the reality of the scenario is that it sounds absolutely amazing. It really, truly does sound surround sound. Not all the time, but there's been instances where I've been watching a YouTube vid or a movie on this bad boy, and it really did sound like it was digital surround sound, like something was from behind me. So quite impressed with the sound on this bad boy. Moving down here at the bottom, you'll notice we do have our micro USB port, which actually doubles as a USB OTG, so you can plug in, you know, keyboards, mice, game controllers, and so on, as well as a slim port. Moving around to the top here, we have our 3.5 millimeter headphones jack, as you would imagine. Let's go ahead and turn around to, oh wait, one more thing. Of course, we still have our power button and volume rocker on the same side, same size as well, but now we actually have our microphone port just below the volume rocker. So again, getting back to the front side here, we've got this beautiful, sort of the star of the show as I proudly polish it here, our 7-inch 1080p display. 1920 by 1200 resolution with a PPI of 323. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best display for tablets on the market right now. You will not find anything better than this. So very impressed with this. We also have an ambionic light sensor, which is just above our little 1.2 megapixel fixed focused lens. And like I said before, you've noticed that we've got our smaller bezels, but thicker on the tops and bottoms. So what that's going to be great for is, and by the way, because of this is so thin, was it 8.65 millimeters thin, considerably thinner than the last one, a little bit more narrow, but slightly taller than the 2012 edition. Though I think they made, as far as ergonomics is concerned, some really wise choices here. It's easier to reach across the screen with one thumb, though I won't be able to access the entire thing. This will be perfect for web browsing and article reading and book reading and so on. Then again, we put it into landscape mode. You notice we've got these awesome sort of thicker, but not too thick bezels on the sides here in landscape mode, which is perfect for placing your thumbs. My only complaint though with the stereo speakers being on the rear instead of the front is that yes, you will find that from time to time you end up muffling or covering up the speakers, which sort of lowers the volume. Though when you've got this bad boy cranked, even if you do have the speakers covered, it still comes through amazingly clear, and you can actually feel the vibration of the bass. Though some people have complained about the lack of bass, they would have liked an increase. I think it's adequate enough. You can feel it throughout the device, kind of vibrating it. Though the build quality of this thing is absolutely amazing. There's no creaks or groans, nothing like that. I've had no issues, haven't noticed any problems with the build quality whatsoever. So really impressive design. I'm really satisfied with all the decisions that they've made with this bad boy. So let's go ahead and jump into the software. So with any brand new Nexus device that Google releases, we get the latest version of Android. So this does come with Android 4.3. And of course, like from Android 4.2, we do have our lock screen widgets, though even though we have a front-facing and rear-facing camera now, we don't actually have access to the camera lock screen widget like we do on some other Nexus devices. So we'll go ahead and unlock this bad boy. And first and foremost, a lot of you guys are going to be probably quite familiar with Android tablets. That said, those of you that aren't, you pull down from the left side, we've got our notification tray. And of course, we've got our clock with the time and date at the top there. Go ahead and tap on that. Whoops, we go ahead and tap on that. And it brings us into our date and time settings, which you can alter. Pulling down from the right hand side, it gets our quick toggles. So you've got your account, brightness, settings, Wi-Fi auto rotate, your battery, which of course you can tap on that. It'll bring you right into your battery usage. And of course, we've got AirPlay mode and Bluetooth. Now, as far as Android 4.3 is concerned, yes, there are actually quite a bit of changes in here, though you're probably not going to notice a whole bunch right off the bat. So we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and list some of those out for you. So first and foremost, we've actually got the Bluetooth. Bluetooth 4.0 on this bad boy, but we actually have the new Bluetooth Smart, or aka Bluetooth Low Energy, which is basically designed and set up for accessories that are going to be coming out more and more in the future as we see them, like smartwatches that are needing to connect to whatever device it is you have all the time for notifications and syncing and so on and so forth. So with the new Bluetooth Low Energy, we should be able to see some more battery savings from the device standpoint. Though the Bluetooth Low Energy is not new in terms of a feature to mobile or to Bluetooth, it is new to the AOSP, or Android Open Source Project. Additionally, we also have something new here. Now, we have seen users before, right? So we can set up multiple accounts, though now we have user restricted profiles. So what that allows us to do, for those of you out there that are like parents, maybe even businesses, say for instance you're taking your kids on a long drive for vacation or something like that, and you obviously want to give them the tablet so they can kill some time and keep them occupied. Well, instead of just handing them the tablet with their own user profile on it, and then they can go ahead and download any application they want, browse anywhere they want, you can actually select and restrict certain applications, ones that are already downloaded and installed on the device, and also ones like, say for instance, you could always restrict the Play Store from them so that they can't just go ahead and start downloading applications all willy-nilly like. Same thing with browsing the web and so on. So that's obviously a really, really useful feature. So another thing that's been changed in Android 4.3 is the update to OpenGL ES 3.0 versus OpenGL ES 2.0. So what that means to you guys is that we now have support for more complex textures, has a more powerful more powerful shaders, support for geometry, instancing, and a bunch of other different performance enhancing things. So in short, basically you're going to get better graphics performance. So we should have less frame rate drops and so on, and just overall it should just look better. Especially with that amazing display that we've got here. And if you're wondering what kind of GPL is going to be powering this, or GPU, I'm sorry, is going to be powering this bad boy, it's an Adreno 320 GPU. So yes, it is one that's sort of like in last year or even the previous year's model. Nevertheless, that coupled with the Snapdragon S4 Pro processor, which is powering this beast, clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, and of course 2 gigs of RAM. Any game you throw at this, it should be able to handle just fine with no issues whatsoever, and at the same time look absolutely amazing. So here we are coming up on the score of our GFX benchmark. And we did score a little bit less than I would like to see, although one thing you guys do have to keep in mind, though, is that synthetic benchmark results are not indicative of what the actual performance, real-world performance is. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys what that game performance looks like right now, right after we show you my Antutu benchmark result with 18,234, which is actually pretty decent. Again, keep in mind, synthetic benchmark results or scores do not dictate the actual overall real-world performance. Though, that said, the Antutu benchmark score is quite adequate as far as the graphics performance benchmark that we just ran. Not what I would like to see, and we'll show you why right now. So we'll go ahead and jump into this gaming here, into Asphalt 8, and I've already got this ready to go, so we'll go ahead and press resume. And I've got my on-screen controls going on here. I'm used to doing the tilt to move, but nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and give this a shot. And as you can see, you may not be able to fully hear it with the surround sound speakers facing the table right now and kind of being muffled by that, but it's still coming through just fine. And a little bit of drift action here, and you can see that the colors on this are absolutely amazing. It handles, the sort of drift smoke coming off the tires very, very well. It handles motion blur really, really well. Quite a realistic looking video game, especially considering Asphalt 8 comes with all these new cool, awesome sort of tweaks that they've done to it to make it just look absolutely amazing. And hell, if this tablet can't handle this game, then, I mean, it's very impressive nevertheless. So as you can see, graphics performance, I'm not seeing any frames being dropped whatsoever, though. That said, once this review is done, I will be rooting it, and I'll actually be doing some gaming performance videos for you guys with FPS Meter. The application obviously requires root, and we'll be able to see how this device performs on various different games. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm actually looking forward to doing that video for you guys. So there's a bit of an idea. So let's go ahead and take a look at how it looks like with 1080p video. So let's go ahead and check out YouTube right now, actually. So here is the trailer for Life of Pi. The reason why I chose this one is because it's just the quality of the movie itself, actually, when I watch it in 1080p on my TV, looked absolutely amazing. But the colors they use on this are just absolutely amazing, and showing it on the Nexus 7, the new Nexus 7, with its 1080p display, 323 ppi, this will give you, or at least should give you, a really good idea of how amazing this display is. I mean, if there's any reason to purchase this, it should at least be the display alone. The display alone, I mean, once you get this in your hands, you'll be so glad you purchased it, folks. I'm telling you right now, you will not be disappointed. Absolutely amazing. As you can see, those colors are just absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, so that's enough of that. So what about reading text? A lot of you guys are going to be getting this tablet specifically for just web browsing and article reading and so on. So I've got Vice loaded up here ready to go. I can tell you right off the bat, based on the Wi-Fi connection, you know, and Google Chrome application, you know, web pages do load it satisfactorily. Obviously, if you have different web browsing applications, more specifically like Dolphin Browser and some other various ones out there, they are optimized a little bit better than what Google Chrome is, and they will load faster, though because of my Google account, I do prefer to use Google Chrome. That said, we're on Vice right now. The web page loaded adequately quick before I started the video. That said, the point of this particular section is to show you the text. So a lot of you guys sometimes out there complain about other Android tablets because they have lower resolutions, lower PPI. You can see the pixels in the text themselves, which actually is quite eye-straining to a lot of people, especially maybe to someone like my wife, who does a lot of ebook reading, and so she's going to rely on very sharp, clean-looking text so that she can continue reading for long periods of time. So as I zoom in here, and of course this annoying menu bar pops over top, you can see that the text is really, really sharp. No matter how close or deep you get there, the text is just absolutely amazing. So that's not going to be an issue at all. So as far as, you know, web browsing and article reading for you guys, you will be in love with this display. Just another reason to love this display. So basically, after all that, you know, that said, guys, this is really an amazing tablet for the price that you're getting. You know, it's a Google product, so you're going to be getting all the latest Android updates coming to it right away. You've got a Snapdragon S4 Pro processor clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, quad core, right? So this is a very, very fast CPU. Though like I said before, I would be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed that Google didn't include a Snapdragon 600. Though keeping the price point where it is, I'm not complaining. 2 gigabytes of RAM, more than enough. An Adreno 320 GPU, more than enough for what it is you need to handle. A 1920 by 1200 resolution display, 1080p, 323 ppi, the best display on the market right now. Android 4.3 right out of the gate. Dual rear-facing stereo speakers with Fraunhofer's surround sound. It's more lightweight, it's easier, it's better, it's just better, guys. So if any of you guys have already purchased this and you're watching this right now, give yourself a little clap or a pat on the back. You just made yourself a wise purchasing decision. Anyways, guys, that is it for this one, though. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you make a purchasing decision if you decided to purchase this. Very, very smart choice. If you like this video, click that likes button down below. It always goes a very long way to helping out the channel. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one in the future. And additionally, you can always stay up to date on all things The Smoking Android by following me on Twitter and Google+. Those links will be in the description below as well. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.